Me at Ludwig's funeral. Boys!
I don't know how to deal with that.
But I think this should only be allowed if there are also allowed to be Slytherin kids there that are like, fuck that bitch.
Oh, fuck yeah. Rochelle comes and she spits on her grave. Yeah,
only good Gryffindor's a dead Gryffindor.
Every single person was looking at the other people to be like, what the fuck was that? Oh, damn, my hair's crazy today. I look like a biker. I don't know what's going on. I just put on this jacket and I'm fucking...
Like a motorcycle biker, like a gangster. Like
it's like a gangster. Yeah, that's what they call me. They call me the gangster of love.
Wow. Cool.
Welcome back to Midget Cringe. How are you doing, Stans? You okay? You've definitely not been yawning a lot before we started recording.
I cannot stop yawning. I think I'm yawning more than saying words in this call so far. And it's not, it's like 9:15 here. It's not that early. But I have been ruining my sleep schedule playing League of Legends into the wee hours.
Oh, no. Wait, so you go on stream and play League of Legends and then end stream and play League of Legends?
Okay, well, you're missing...
Woe is your life.
Let's be honest about it. No. Because I wake up in the morning and I work. Sometimes I record Binge and Cringe. Sometimes I work at Off-Brand, right? And then I go live on stream and I create content. Sometimes that's League of Legends. Sometimes
I'm hoping you're doing air quotes. I can't see you. The create content.
I was doing air quotes. I did do air quotes, yes. Of course.
Good.
Then I go off stream and I'm a classic house husband. You know what I mean? I help around the house. I spend time with Rochelle. We're watching TV.
Sorry, I'm not trying to step on your toes here, but Rochelle came on stream and was like chatting shit about stuff that you weren't doing, wasn't she, or something? You were having a little bit of a tiff live on stream.
No, we were having a little bit of a tiff because I think I've been overdoing it in that area.
Oh, you were calling her out. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you know that SpongeBob episode where he's like doing everything for the baby and Patrick's not?
I actually don't. It's crazy to compare your real life to SpongeBob.
Oh, I did the thing where I left chat on screen again. God damn it. All right.
Well, that's fine. Sorry, people can't see it when we're in separate cams, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you're who's who in this situation? Are you Patrick?
No, I'm SpongeBob. I got the curlers in my hair and the face mask on, and I'm beating the rug and I'm feeding the baby.
I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. I will, as she's not here to defend herself, I will do a bit of defending for Rochelle. She seems to be very busy with work things. You know, she's got a lot going on.
She is very busy with work things. And not an excuse. So am I.
You are, but you know, like I think, like if you had a big off-brand event coming up, that would be the like similar comparison to what she's got coming up, correct? Is that?
Sure, something like that. But here's the thing. We always have big off-brand events coming up, man. Unpaid Intern episode 6, that's still happening.
Sorry, I realize you can't see me, but I am tapping my watch as to when the next big off-brand event is. Sorry, I've heard you're making a game, and apparently you've been talking about that for a long time. Is that the next event? Because I wouldn't call that an event.
The game's coming out in like 3 weeks. There's going to be like a small event around that. I'm trying to, we have Unpaid Intern episode 6.
You're sweating. This is you're the SpongeBob. These are all SpongeBob episodes today. You're a real SpongeBobber. You're the sweating.
No, we've got some real shit going on.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm actually pulling up our calendar and
you're trying to figure out what the fuck is actually what you're doing.
Honestly, we have until late October, so we got a couple weeks. But late October, early November, mid-November, early December, and we're gonna have a crazy last 2 months.
That's great though. You're prepping your is it hibernation? You're like prepping all your shit and then you're ready to fucking be a bear coming out, but it would be the wrong time of year because they'd be hibernating through the winter. So
yeah, but I guess for content creators it is the time of year because that's when you get all the money from advertisers.
So true. I was actually thinking, you know, we did Divemas last year. We kind of like it went really well, obviously, as a like experiment. It banged and all the videos did really well. But I foolishly was like, oh, December's great for ad revenue because of Christmas, but all the advertisers have like sold all their ads already because
first most week of December is good.
End of November, first week of December. So do we do like start Divemas in the middle of November? Because then we get the trickle effect and we'd have to prepare so many dives, but It was something that I was thinking about. I don't know.
I think it's legal to do it anytime after Thanksgiving.
Sorry, legal?
Yep, I would not
I wasn't
allow it.
worried about getting arrested for doing it. I don't think the comments would care. I think they'd be happy with more dives.
I would care. I think it's like the same thing about putting up a Christmas tree before Thanksgiving. You have to, when you could put up a Christmas tree, you could have a dive.
Also, shut the fuck about Thanksgiving. No one else in the world cares. You fucking Americo-centric fool. No one gives a shit about Thanksgiving or when it is, or you can do Christmas after Thanksgiving. Who cares? So when is Thanksgiving, first of all? Because that means nothing to me.
It's different every year.
That's also insane. You need to have, is it like halfway through November or what? Because it's in November, right, usually?
Yeah, it is Thursday, November 28th this year.
Right, okay. So let's just say the start of December, which is normal.
Yeah, I think
right?
December 1st through 7th is a great dive miss, straight up.
Yeah, but then...
Sorry, Mr. Capitalism over here, but then we're not maximizing profits.
No, I'm thinking more... I was worried about starting it even in November because of the sheer amount that we'd have to do. So we have to set an end to Divemas then before Christmas, because there's no way we're not doing like 25 dives, right? We'd have to stock up for so long.
Oh, are you talking about uploading them or doing them?
Uploading them. But we're already in October, so we should really be stocking up on the dives now, is what I'm saying. Which is kind of why I was saying...
if we're doing 7 dives, then we just have to do 2 a week in every week in November. Boom.
Yeah, I'm saying we hold on to Joe Weller and do a 3-parter across those 7 days. Maybe make it 14 days, because we did the 12 days.
You want to use 3 of our 7 Christmas days on Joe Weller?
And 3 of our 14 on Joe Weller.
I think doing 14 dive miss days is crazy.
I think we need to make it bigger and better than last year. And we did 12 last year. We can't do 7 this year. That's cringe.
Whatever you say. That seems like a lot of work, my friend.
Yeah,
and here's the deal. I sit here and I look at the camera and I nod. You have to write essays.
Yeah, last year Nate was fucking cracking the whip on the dive miss edits. And even then I had to do, I think, 3 of them, and Lightmind did a couple. And recently Nate has become very busy with his other job, which has meant the dives have a very, very slow rollout. So I don't think the stockpiling of dives will be happening on Nate's end. So it's down to me to not only prep them, but also edit them. So I'll see how many I can do, and then we'll decide when Divemas can actually start.
True. And then we'll figure out how many days it can be.
Yeah. Stan, something happened in the pop culture sphere, and I wanted to hear your take on it, because I thought that a lot of people were really cringe, and was wondering where you stood on the cringe-o-meter for me.
All right, hit me with it.
But the topic's kind of sad, because Dame Maggie Smith died. Which is very sad.
You're gonna I know that exactly what you're gonna share. It's everyone raising their wands. Yeah, I just clicked it.
Well, don't click. Actually, I'm not sharing my screen with you, am I?
I've seen it. Hey,
you've seen it, which is fine. Let me share my screen so you can.
Yeah.
So as Stan said, he's seen this. And I want to be very clear before we probably get into this tweet. That obviously a person dying is very sad. And you can pay respects. That's you can be sad about the person dying. People being talking about parasocial and things like that. I think it's crazy to be annoyed at someone and call them parasocial, whatever, for being upset because a celebrity or a creator or something as bad has happened to someone that you care about.
Me at Ludwig's funeral. Boys,
I don't care about you. Wish you were, my friend. Yeah. So I think there's levels to it, and obviously if an actor that you've grown up with has passed away, you could be sad about it. That's fine. I'm not taking the piss out of people being sad.
Sounds like you are.
But if you haven't seen, for audio listeners, this video we're about to watch, I will press play and then describe. So this is at Hogwarts Castle at Universal Orlando. And I don't know whether it was at a specific time or why they did it, how they all knew, but they all raised their wands in solidarity with Maggie Smith in like respect to her passing away.
Dude, pause it for 1 second. Go back like 5 seconds. They were all raising their wands, and I thought that gray-haired guy was saluting. Like it was a military funeral.
Dude, I thought he was too. Is he not? Is he filming?
It's
He's
camera.
taking a picture.
It's a camera. Yeah, he's got the horizontal or the vertical camera
That's
look.
so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, this guy. So I have a lot of thoughts about this, but I wanted to hear your thoughts first, so I could maybe tread lightly if I'm gonna roast you.
I think this is totally fine. Obviously, it's like a little funny, a little off kilter and weird, but I think this should only be allowed, like kind of like cosplaying as if Professor McGonagall died, if there are also allowed to be Slytherin kids there that are like, fuck that bitch.
Oh, fuck yeah. Rochelle comes and she spits on her grave. Yeah,
only good Gryffindor's
funny.
a dead Gryffindor.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so sick. Okay, I'm on board with that, but obviously it would be the bit that I hate about this is obviously Maggie Smith's role as what's her name? Fuck,
Professor McGonagall.
Professor McGonagall. Was like monumental, and she was a big role in the franchise, and it was a big part of her career. But to me, to like show respect to her by holding a wand up, like that's all her fucking life has amounted to, is being like this person in Harry Potter for these people. That pisses me off so much. Right?
Really?
Like, if Ludwig died, it would be like a bunch of people fucking doing a like Ludwig 7 emote and holding up their fucking Mogul Moves fucking hoodies and shit. Like, that would be, in my eyes, very fucking cringe and disrespectful. But so I don't know exactly where I stand on it, but I look at it, and rather than going, oh, that's a touching tribute, I go, these guys are like, it's so, to me, tone deaf and cringe. And I don't really blame the people, because they're just doing a nice thing and putting like doing a tribute to her. So I'm in two worlds, two minds on it, and I don't really know how to feel.
Yeah, I think that everyone is a different thing for different people, and they let you into their lives in certain ways. And it's like, for me, I don't know Maggie Smith. I don't know if she was a good mother and a good woman. She joined her church and did a sewing circle. It's like, but theoretically, I know that she was Professor McGonagall. And the truth is, these people are not mourning Maggie Smith. They don't know Maggie Smith. They're mourning the death of like a beloved character from their childhood, from like the books and movies.
And that sucks to me. That's why I don't like that, because they don't actually care about the person that has passed away. And if I like, there's a part of me that, say, for example, this was like, I don't know, my grandma or something that had passed away, and I see all these people showing tribute to her, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so nice. But then in this instance, it isn't really showing tribute to the person that I knew, my grandma. This is showing tribute to some fictitious character that no one there actually cares that the person that I care about has died, and that sucks. Yeah. And also, it's amounting their whole entire life to just being in Harry Potter. That's why I have a problem with it. And my instant reaction to watching this was like, God, humanity's ruined. This is so cringe. I hate life. That was like
interesting.
Instant. I was imagining Maggie Smith like rolling in her grave, being like, this is what my life amounted to, is a bunch of fucking millennial nerds holding up fake plastic things that they've spent $80 at Disney for, or whatever the fuck. It's just crazy.
Let me say something. That you're saying that Maggie Smith would be rolling over, or potentially.
Yeah, I don't know her thoughts on it. I'm sure she actually loved Harry Potter.
Yeah, this could be like her dream. Like, this could be like the win condition. She's like, hey, my job as an actor is to create characters that are so beloved and memorable that people care about them. They live on. And the fact that like they are mourning her character by like holding up wands, like all these things are happening because she did a good job at her actual job, job that she did basically until she died. So maybe she's like pogging in the grave right now.
Yeah, that's my initial reaction was all of that, but I have since gone like, maybe there is like, because they don't know Maggie Smith, but it's not their fault they don't know fucking Maggie Smith. It's not, you shouldn't gatekeep like paying respects to someone dying. So I am I'm arguing internally with myself on it.
There's two wolves inside you.
Literally. And I keep on having one point and then contradict my own point by having another point and then keep on going back at each other. And then my second thought after all of that was, holy shit, it'd be funny if it pans the corner and Stans and Rochelle are there with their wands out. That would be so fucking funny. Up.
I feel like I was a Harry Potter kid. I'm not a Harry Potter movie guy at all. It means
you said that last time we talked about
it.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the actors
Rochelle is
or
though,
anything.
Right? She
for sure.
She said that she didn't finish the books or something, or she came back to them.
I tell this story. I think she went back to them, but like she was reading them when the last movie came out, and she quit the book to watch the movie.
Which is sick. You laugh at that. That's sick. That's what you should do. That's so
trash.
Cool.
That is not cool at all. It's the worst option for that. You should finish the book first. Yeah.
I guess the only downside of that is if you're not going exactly to the source material. Like if the books are going in a different direction to what the movies end up doing.
Sure, and they're always going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, but I think Harry Potter is way more like to the source material than something like Game of Thrones is, where they literally fucking had to make up the ending and shit.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, that's not important. I just I thought this was cringe, and then I was like, maybe it's not cringe, and I was like, oh no, I wonder what Stans thinks. So I think
I'm on team not cringe.
Yeah, I'm on team undecided. I would love
embarrassing, but not cringe, if that makes sense.
Okay, maybe I'm on board with that. I think there is no universe that isn't embarrassing, but
yeah,
something being embarrassing doesn't also equate it to being bad either, right?
Correct.
Like,
yeah,
you can do something that is embarrassing, but is also like really funny and can be like a good moment for you down the line, even though it is embarrassing for you.
And that's all these people on camera holding up their wands.
Yeah, I made an Among Us parody.
You did make an Among Us.
That's embarrassing.
So people might not know that. Not only that, we don't have to pull it up, but it has how many views?
Not millions, but hundreds of thousands.
Okay. I thought it was over 1 million.
If it does, I'm surprised.
Hold.
Nearly 1 million, 850K.
850,000. So yeah, it's like
sung by cats.
That's you. This is your holds up wand.
Yeah, the only bit I'm embarrassed about with this, it isn't actually making the Among Us parody song, because it wasn't my idea, and I was kind of like bullied into it by Logic, who really wanted to do it. He had had this vision, and he knew I had a music degree, so he's like, do the music. So I did, but I was like, we're going to have to find other people to sing these parts. And then as we were writing it, because we did it like it was like a crew, so there was all these different characters, I was like, I can't find enough people that are willing to sing. And so out of ease, I was the lime green character and had to sing. And they're the embarrassing parts for me. Hearing myself not confidently sing like I'm in a musical, and it's a fucking imposter Among Us song that I wrote. That's the embarrassing part for me. But the fact that I made it and did the music and stuff, I think the song slaps. I'm happy with the song.
And people love it. People, you're not the only one, I guess is what I'm saying.
Children love it, for sure.
Children are technically people.
Technically, on a technicality, I win. Yeah. I want to play the chorus, because I actually think that it is a banger, because I don't sing the chorus, so it's fine. Here we go.
Dude, imagine Ed Sheeran saying this.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It has very Shape of You vibes.
It does have Shape of You vibes.
I was inspired at the time. It's around the same time, like a couple of years after that album came out. I'm not ashamed to say that I am proud of the song, but embarrassed by my performance. But I wouldn't change it now that it exists. I'm glad that I sang on it because of how embarrassing it is. And it's a funny thing to be like, yeah, this is me. I did this thing. You can still, my point is, you can still find something embarrassing, but also it not be inherently like a negative thing. Even though most people, I think, would think this is an inherently negative thing.
Fair enough. They'd be wrong.
They would be so wrong, Stans. Okay, now, this podcast, as we have talked a little bit about in the previous episodes and in the update on the Patreon, We want to talk more about movies and TV shows, and we keep on forgetting every episode.
We do.
Granted, last episode was all about High School Musical, so I think that lets us off. You know, we talked a lot about
it releases some steam
shows
from the valve.
Yeah. But we have a lot of movies and TV shows things to like actually cover. Mainly, you brought up something last episode of a movie that you were going to see. You made a promise.
Yeah, I made a commitment to the people. And I come to you, hand on heart.
Oh, no.
Saying, would you hate me if I didn't?
Hate is a strong word.
Because it doesn't matter. I did. I watched it. I watched the movie.
Let's go. He didn't let us down.
So I didn't let you down. I watched Palm Springs while Rochelle and I did an arts and crafts project. We painted some calaveras, some Day of the Dead skulls for Halloween.
That's cute. Oh, did you show a picture of that on stream?
I did show a picture of that on stream.
Yeah, they look cool. I wasn't there for it, but I think you had the tab open and you like closed it quickly, and I saw it for a second. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And you made it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what we did during Palm Springs. And
oh yeah, can you send me that picture?
Sure.
You don't have to do it now, but like so I can
I'm doing
insert
it
in the
right
podcast.
now.
Oh, do it right now.
Man.
Hell yeah.
Because I know
just
exactly.
Pull it up on the podcast. I don't even have to edit.
I know exactly where it is.
Oh no,
man.
this is his version of Googling. I shouldn't have said anything.
From stands. How do you do from in Discord?
You just search stands. Like there's
stands.
a search thing.
Oh, there you go. And then it says
you
from
click
stands.
yeah. This is riveting. I'm not editing this out, by the way. I want the viewers to know.
People love this.
That I edit out a lot of Googling in between. So this is what we have to deal with usually. Is just but it's this, but without me filling for time.
Right.
That's actually sick. For the audio listeners, it's 2 Day of the Dead skulls painted.
Yeah.
Very, very sick. One of them has a cool flower tiara. I guess tiara. I don't know what what else it would be.
What the word would be, in Spanish, yeah.
Or what it is, because it's not an actual crown. But yeah, dude, that's so sick. I assume. I guess I shouldn't assume you painted the right one.
Wait, you don't know the answer? Because we ran a gamble on stream yesterday.
Oh, did you? Oh wait, I'm now looking at the. Okay, now at this, I'm going to be offensive to Rochelle, and I'm happy being offensive to you, but I don't want to be offensive to Rochelle.
Yeah, be careful. Watch yourself, buddy.
So, did it come white?
It came all white. Everything was white. There was not a single.
Okay. So, 2 thoughts already.
Mm-hmm.
The right skull is obviously just basically white. So,
Well, skulls are white.
Yeah, but the idea I think is that you're supposed to paint them a little bit, like maybe a bit more detail, like the teeth maybe around the nose. So I have a feeling the person on the right kind of skipped out on this activity, which would make me feel like it was a you attempt.
Okay.
But then I look at the one on the left, and the like I'm zooming in. Is it like gray or like black paint?
Black paint.
I can't tell if it's like a design or if it's just like streaky. Is it streaky?
It is streaky.
It's streaky. See, and that makes me question. But so both basically.
It feels like you're saying whichever one is worse. I did. Sorry, I don't understand your logic here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, and I'm debating whether it's worse to have.
I think I'm good at art. I think you should say which one's best, and that's me.
I'm trying to figure out which if it's like worse to have made the effort to paint it all, even if it's streaky, or to just not bother to paint it at all. Like which is worse. And I will say the detail was all of this skull white because the detail
everything was white. There was no color on any part.
The detail on the like tiara, the flower bit with the butterflies and stuff of like the different colors is actually kind of sick. So I think it makes up for the streakiness. And because I feel like you didn't put much effort in if you did the right one. I'm going to say Rochelle did the left.
You think Rochelle did the black skull and that I did the white skull?
Yeah, but I'm going to feel so bad if I got it wrong.
Ooh, because you think that whoever did the right skull didn't put in any effort, was maybe lazy about it.
Yeah, but I've insulted both. So I've said the left one, shoddy work. The right one didn't try. So I'm fucked either way, I guess. But
I think one thing, I don't know if this is helpful. The right one has like a very big flower on the back that is colored in.
Well, I'm missing information then, but I'm going to keep with my my guess that Rochelle did left.
Joe,
Yeah.
you are correct.
Yes. Okay. I'm very sorry to insult your craftsmanship, Rochelle. But
yeah, it's tough because if I
painting the whole thing is crazy. Like,
I'm doing another coat of black. Yeah, I told her painting the whole thing was crazy, and then when she did one, I was like, "You have to do like 2 or 3 coats." Like those eye holes on mine, it took so many coats.
Yeah.
Like I had to let it dry and then do another one because otherwise it was just Streakville.
Yeah, and I imagine like you want to get to do the fun bits, but to do the black coat, you kind of can't paint any of the other bits the like color that you want them to until you've painted the black, because you don't want to get the black on the color. So that would take a long time and be a lot of fucking effort. So I would also only do 1 coat and then just go to the fun bit.
Yeah.
So I
you
get
have to
it.
live with the streaks.
But the fact that I had to ask, was it streaks or was it like a cool design? Maybe it just like, especially I had to zoom in. Just that sat down, it looks like a cool ass design with the streaks. I feel like maybe it doesn't in person, but it does. The way I'm looking at it, that looks kind of cool. And yours looks lazy.
I'm gonna
and
say
cringe.
whoever took this photo, aka me, did a great job.
Okay, you wanted some some
I'll just say it in person.
compliments.
Who knows? Who knows what you're gonna see?
Okay, well I'll have to. Oh, spoilers! I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be seeing these in person.
I hope so. You messaged me yesterday that like the airlines are fucking me. I'm mad at the world. Can't record right now.
Yeah, I had.
So I have no idea.
I've been
what's
having
happening.
a bad couple days in terms of fucking logistics and trying to get shit done. But the flights are booked. I am going to America, so hopefully,
Okay, great.
we manage to do some shit. But we will see. To be determined. Anyway, sorry, we got fucking very distracted.
Yes.
Palm Springs, you watched it. What do you think of the movie? Tell me.
So remember, going into it, the reason I watched it was because I was seeing tons and tons of clips on TikTok. And because in following up on those clips, it was people commenting like, this was the movie of 2020 or 2021, whatever it was. Like, man, people didn't give this movie its flowers. It came out on Hulu and no theaters and stuff. If it did that, it would have like been up for awards and stuff. And I wanted to like experience that because I like Andy Samberg. I like comedies. I like time loop movies. Like it felt like this could all work out for me.
Yeah, personally, I love the girl that's in it. I don't know her name, and I feel cringe. The How I Met Your Mother girl, the
yes.
mother of How I Met Your Mother. She's in. I think she's in the latest. Spoilers for How I Met Your Mother. I'm so sorry. Fucking Ross gets to the flight with Rachel. Fuck you.
Friends?
And she's in the Penguin series that's come out recently.
Sorry, she's in Friends?
She's not in Friends. I was just memeing because I was doing a spoiler.
Got it. Sorry, thank you. I was so confused for a second. Yeah, she's in the Penguin show for sure.
Yes. But does she have like a weird eye in that, or does she have a weird eye in real life? Maybe I'm being mean.
I don't. I've
not seen the show, but I saw a screenshot of her in the show, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I feel like her eyes are looking different directions, but.
I mean,
like
maybe
the
they gave
holdovers
her
guy.
a prosthetic eye for the Penguin. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe they love prosthetics over there.
They do.
At
It
DC.
takes so long for him to get in the Penguin outfit.
It's correct. Just cast someone else, bro. If you're gonna go through that much, if you're gonna go through the trouble of making him not seem like him, I feel like you just should get someone that's good at acting that can be him. But hey, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Palm Springs.
Yes, you like Kristen Milioti.
Thank you.
Sorry, Milioti. Yes. And I watched Palm Springs, and it was really, really good. It wasn't like mind blowing. Like this movie's gonna make me rethink my life and how I spend my time and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
But I did think it was like just a really cute time loop movie that didn't subscribe to like a lot of classic tropes of like your character has to fall into the thing. So for those of you that don't know, the movie opens. Andy Samberg is already in the time loop, and we don't know that. He just seems
cool.
like he is. Yeah. Have you seen it? Or
No,
in a while,
I haven't
probably?
seen anything. You
You haven't seen it at all?
No.
Oh, amazing.
I hadn't seen it when you were talking about it, and I was like, we're gonna. This is kind of like a test because we're gonna be talking about a lot of things if we're talking about movies and TV shows that the other person hasn't seen. So. I wanted to see if it works, if only one person has seen the thing, if it's actually still interesting.
Interesting content. Gotta get it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then that maybe changes the way I talk about it. So we open in the movie. We have this kind of millennial character. It's Andy Samberg. He is in Palm Springs. And if you don't know, Palm Springs is like an hour and a half outside of Los Angeles. It is a place people from Los Angeles sometimes go to like meet up with people.
In my
have
head,
weddings.
it's like for old people. Is that right? Is it kind of like an old people vibe? You go there, retirement
not as
home,
much as
kind
like
of relax.
Sun City, but yeah, a little bit of old people vibe. And I think there's like more and more young people who are interested in doing it. Like I think my sister-in-law is doing a bachelorette party in Palm Springs.
Oh, cool.
And it's like,
but it's kind of like it's a chill vibe.
It's very chill. It's the middle of the desert, chill vibe. There's a big ass mountain there you can go up that has snow in the winter, which is actually maybe the coolest part.
That is cool.
So it's like desert on the bottom, snow on top.
I mean, I guess somewhere called Palm Springs, it'd be crazy if there was like fucking insane stuff that was happening. It was all about work, you know, it was rigid rules and structure.
This is more chill. So we open in Palm Springs with this like millennial character who is at a wedding. It's like the day of the wedding. He's obviously not in it and he's just chilling with his friends and he is depressed, right? You can tell. And we don't know that he is stuck in a time loop right now. We think he is just like all of us, right? Because we're all sad and like, who really cares, man? And I'm in Palm Springs for this wedding that I don't really care about, like what's going on. We get to the wedding and we are also introduced to Kristen.
I don't know. You can Google it. I can Google it if you want.
Yeah, but it's spelled Christin. Christine.
Kristen, I don't know, the female lead.
Sure, her name is Sarah in this, and we are introduced to Sarah, who is the sister of the bride. The bride is actually Camila Mendes from Riverdale.
Oh, yeah, she was in Revenge or something as well. There was a good movie that I like. Yeah, carry on.
Perfect. And we learn that Sarah, Kristen, is like the fuck-up sister. So the good sister is getting married, and the fuck-up sister, who is the maid of honor, doesn't have a speech prepared and is like a little bit like shaky and like, okay, this is like, we understand it. They literally spell it out for you. The parents are like, you're the fuck-up, man. Yeah. Like, you're going to make it on time? Shit like that. And through the night, she meets up with Andy Samberg's character, Niles, and they kind of like are flirting and stuff. They go out to the desert to like get it on. And all of a sudden, this is where it takes a turn to the zany, which is the parts I don't like. A man with a crossbow shows up and starts shooting at Andy Samberg, and he hits him. And Andy Samberg's like getting hunted by J.K. Simmons, like Jumanji style.
What?
Yeah.
With no context at this point.
With no context at all. And we're like, wait, this is crazy.
Okay, I like that.
And for me, like things to be grounded, like in a lot.
Actually, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like this, and I think it's fair. I do like it now and looking back. And so he starts running, and Sarah has no idea what's going on. Right? Andy Samberg runs into this cave. There is a light. He screams back at her like, "Do not go in this cave. Like, stay out of here." But he's got like arrows sticking out of him, and he jumps in. She is like concerned about him, like, "No, you're hurt." Goes in.
Oh, okay.
And then as she goes in the cave, she wakes up. It is the next morning. It is revealed that like it's a time loop.
It's a time loop cave. I see.
Yes, it is a time loop cave. There's an earthquake that happens that day that opens the cave, and if you go into it, you are now stuck in a time loop, a Palm Springs time loop.
Right.
And then we have classic time loop shenanigans.
Yeah.
He gets to be the sensei. He's been in there for like theoretically like maybe hundreds of years. You know,
shit.
Like,
it's like a full.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, because to me, Andy Samberg is like the main character and he falls in time loop and what happens. He is the sensei. Sarah is really the main character.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day, but like if you got a second person and someone has already gone through all the Groundhog Dayness.
Exactly. It's like someone went in and you had what's his name, who had already been in there. He goes like first time.
Yeah.
You know? Like
okay, and then it's like I'm assuming a rom-com. It's like them falling in love as they're going through this.
Love, and then the turn, like some things are revealed about her and who she is as a person.
I was just saying no spoilers, but just to be clear for anyone.
Yeah, a lot of the movie is about. I won't do any spoilers for anymore. Like I'll just do themes from this point on.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I assume first of all, would you recommend? Because if you don't recommend, I guess we could spoil, right? If you want people to see this.
I recommend, but like I also don't care if you don't watch it. Like there's some movies where it's like the first time I saw Jojo Rabbit or Whiplash, I was like, everyone's got to go see this movie. Like, because I want to talk about it and I think it could like change something in you. This movie is just like, oh, it's cute. I do think that if you were like a struggling millennial during COVID, like I was lucky enough to be married, like this could maybe have more of a profound impact on you, because so much of it is about like moving on and growing up and understanding
and being
that, like,
stuck in a loop. Like that's very
we make
on the
mistakes,
nose.
but we choose to stay in that. You know what I mean? Like we can break out of these things if we attempt to do a thing and not just dwell.
Yeah.
Whereas Andy Samberg is like the dweller, and then Sarah is the one that's like, no, like we have to do something, right? And his like jaded nihilism is at odds with her like fear of getting stuck when he's already there. So
interesting.
It's a good movie.
Does it? Now we said no spoilers. Does it have an ending that justifies the time loopness? Because I feel like sometimes in time loops they just like, and then we broke the time loop, ta-da, and everything happy ever after.
Yeah, so a lot of time loop, a lot of like the cheesy time loop movies are like you have to fall in love and stuff
to
like
break
that.
the curse.
Yeah, there's no curse. It's like I guess you would call it like this is like science-based time loop. It's not primal, but I do think it's a little not cheesy because cheesy would make you think like way different things, but like the time loop doesn't matter. This is a movie about like people dealing with like trauma that they have.
I guess
that's what you should
it's
get.
less I guess I wasn't asking as in like literally how do they fix the time loop. I mean like
Sure.
If the time loop doesn't matter, I guess that's good. Does the ending feel like a resolution of the movie? Like they don't just randomly. I feel like a lot of rom-coms they just kind of end, and you're like, okay, that was the movie. I guess they've chose to end it here because they got together. Does it have like a resolve? Do you think?
Yeah, I think there's kind of, to me, there's two endings because there's like the actual ending, which I think is like a little bit studio-esque of like, okay, this is what has to happen. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna get too edgy for this Hulu original that we're paying you money to produce, Andy Samberg or whoever it was. And then maybe 20 minutes before that, 15 minutes before that, there's like a long scene between J.K. Simmons and Andy Samberg that like talks a lot about the themes of the movie. And like that could be considered good. Like there's like an emotional ending and then there's like the movie's ending to me. So
yeah, so they like emotionally wrap everything up and then they have to like do the plot wrapping up.
Correct, exactly. Okay. It's like, oh, you know, we got to the front of the line in the ride, now we have to ride the ride.
Yeah.
we did the journey. Yeah. No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I think a lot of movies do. I watched Anyone But You, the Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney movie.
Oh, where she gets bit by the snake or whatever.
Yeah, the spider. I watched it when it came out, so a while ago. And there's just a whole. It does the thing. So this is another question I have about Palm Springs, because a lot of rom-coms, they're like the worst for it. I feel like of my hatred of the stupid plot contrivance for the sake of creating some kind of drama. I guess the time loop aspect of that does that for the movie, so they don't have to randomly go like, oh, I misheard what you said, and actually I hate you now kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because in Anyone But You, there's a lot of like, 5 years ago when we met, you said this one thing that really pissed me off, and we're never going to resolve it, even though we've been like making out and falling in love with each other. And then by the end of the movie, they're like, I never said that thing. And they're like, oh my God, neither did I. And then they fucking, one of them flies in a helicopter and they fucking fly away literally into the sunset, fucking making out topless. So it's like, couldn't be more cliche. And I was wondering what the level was for like for Palm Springs.
There is no I can explain, which is like the real like so bad much. Part of those movies. But I will say this movie, like step for step, follows the hero's journey. You know what I mean? Like there is a classic like call to adventure. There is an abyss where, you know, like they say things to each other. The characters have to go and atone. And then when he realizes like other things happen. So I think that while it is not like cliche rom-com, I wouldn't expect this movie. It's like, hey, how do we do the standard thing in ways that can be like kind of interesting? Like I think even the fact that he's in the time loop when the movie starts and we don't know is interesting, right? I think the fact that like it's Andy Samberg, but she is kind of the main character is interesting. I think when there is the big reveal halfway through the movie, like the thing that is revealed makes you rethink the characters a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
good.
Yeah. But it definitely is not like fucking The Matrix or something. You know, we're not going off the rails and like changing storytelling here.
Yeah.
Super on the line.
You talking about it's basically the hero's journey made me think of this tweet that that I saw. This is fucking so stupid. If you actually like when movies do this, you can kiss my ass. And it's just literally, it's what like the hero's journey is, which is a lot of movies, and the whole point is that you build a framework around that sequence of events, right?
Yeah. There's many ways to get from point A to point B. It's just getting from point A to point B is the hero's journey, and like how do we get there?
Yeah, it's insane. It's like saying, if your movie does this, I hate it. And it's like being filmed on a camera. Like, almost every movie, to a certain extent, starts with character living in peace, longs for something, and then character ends with completing their journey with a new discovered outlook. It's like, sorry, do you want no character growth in any movie? Is that the sign of a good movie for you? I don't understand. What do you actually want to like get out of media? It baffles. But then again, this is Twitter, and so most of these people aren't fucking even real.
You know, you're breaking my number one rule here.
Okay.
Which is not getting upset if they have a cartoon profile pic. I break that rule all the time, but I truly think it changes.
Well, cartoon is different. Oh my God, they're followed by an editor that I know.
Oh.
No. I think they're an artist. So maybe it was...
Did I stutter?
The artist is different. If they've created the art that is in their profile picture, that's fine. If they have an anime profile picture or like a cartoon profile picture that is something that they stan, it's
better
different.
for your mental to group all cartoon profile pictures together. And if we lose a couple good takes, that's okay.
I can say that this person is cringe for this specific take. Let's not fucking generalize. But I can say that this tweet is very cringe and it be separate to the fact that they have a cartoon person in their profile. If this because they made it, I think making it's different. Like if you had an animated picture of you as your profile picture, I think that's fine. Even if you didn't make it.
If I had an animated picture of me as my profile picture, I would not expect people to respect my takes.
Unless it was an NFT, in which case, holy.
So
where do I invest? Hold. A lot of what you were talking about with Palm Springs reminded me of another movie, but for like completely different reasons that I saw recently that I want to talk about. But before I do, is there any like closing remarks that you want to give on Palm Springs?
It's crazy to me they made a movie that like perfectly encapsulates the vibe of the time for a subset of people. And I think specifically people that are like 22 to like 26. So I was a little bit too old for this. And in watching it, even though I am not the exact target market, I am like tangential to it.
Right.
It still didn't blow me away, which makes me think it's probably just mid. You know what I mean? Like this movie almost feels like it was made for me. It was made for 90% of me. And I really liked it. But I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to tell my mom, like, you should watch Palm Springs.
I think it was made for a version of you, but maybe not you, because I think you had a really good quarantine, COVID, right?
You know what? I made a lot of money. Yeah,
you made a shit ton of money. You had to spend time with your wife and your dog. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It like was the grounds of your current career started during that. So I think a lot of other people, and I'm similar, not like to the same extent, but like I started streaming because I was locked in my house, you know, and I ended up like I was on furlough from my job, and there was a lot of bad things about COVID, but I was one of the luckier people that didn't have any like absolutely like life-changing in a bad way experiences that I think a lot of people could have had. So maybe for like the people that were like feeling at the least lonely during their COVID experience might relate to it more. It might be more. I think you even said that as you were talking about the movie. It might be
I
more
think when I say that I'm like adjacent to it, I think it's just being like empathic towards friends that were like single and lost their jobs and stuff at that same time. So it's like I totally get it. I think the themes of the movie are not lost on me. It's just, and it did an okay job.
It just doesn't resonate with you as much as it could.
And I think that even with the people it really resonates with, if they looked like deep, this is probably not like a Oscar winning movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think anyone would. Maybe that's the way people were talking about it. Yeah. But
that's why I was like, wait, is this actually like a hidden gem? Is this something that is going to change like the culture if more people watched it? And it's like, no, it's just a good movie. It's just a good movie.
There's another, we're going to talk about my movie in a second, but there's another, I nearly said Adam Sandler. What's the guy's name? Main guy.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's another Andy Samberg movie that people say is a hidden gem that is like really good. Is it Hot Rod? Why are you laughing?
Dude, Hot Rod's fine, but it's a Hot Rod. Yeah, it's like hidden gem. Dude, what people want Hot Rod to be is what Superbad is. Does that make sense?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Superbad is actually like the gem of that style.
Is this the movie I'm thinking about then? People talk about, I'm pretty sure it's this. Let me look at the trailer. Yeah, he's like a stuntman-y guy.
Yeah.
I think I've seen people talk about that movie like it's his like best work, and he's so sick in it.
It's not. What is the best Andy Samberg movie? Let me check.
These are like all of his movies. I'm having a look. Apparently, Popstar is like a really good satire on.
Haven't seen.
On like a Justin Bieber-esque character. He's in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. What the fuck?
He's Ben Reilly.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
That's so sick. I never knew. Maybe his best
Dude,
movie is
the
Palm
dream.
Springs.
I would love to be Dale and Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That's what he's working on.
It might be his. I wouldn't class it being his movie if it's like a bit role, right?
Right. No. Yeah.
Like he's in I Love You Man, but he's not like in it, you know?
I mean, it's probably Palm Springs is probably his best movie.
That's what I'm looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. But hey, maybe Hot Rod is actually a classic and Stans just doesn't respect it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it in high school.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, you said it was like super bad, but not what it wants to be or something.
It's not like super. I'm just saying that like when people
like
are
similar
looking
vibes.
at like a high school boys humor comedy that theoretically has like echoing value, it's like Superbad does that. I don't think Hot Rod does, you know?
Interesting. All right. I mean, I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll watch that and talk about that next episode.
Hot Rod, you do it. We'll do Andy Samberg turn.
I have too many things that I am already watching that I want to tell the viewers about that I won't have time today. So I think I will hold off on saying I'll watch Hot Rod and just talk about something else that I've been watching that's really good. But the most current thing that I have seen that has, I feel like, because you were talking about how this movie could like resonate with people, and I think, I can't remember whether you said, sorry, we're talking about Palm Springs, that you said it could like have a transformative experience, or did you say it couldn't have a transformative experience? I can't remember.
No. I think it can for like certain people.
Right.
I think that it's like really hyper specific. It feels like this movie was made for like the 1% of people, and for those people, they're gonna like buy the DVD and hug it close to their heart.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or could, if this movie is what helps them like move on from grief or panic or any kind of like trauma that they're dealing with. And for the rest of people, they're just going to be like, oh, it's kind of like a cheeky little time loop, and hey, a little love story, whatever. Like, it's fun. It was funny. It's funny.
Yeah, there was something that you said about the movie that made me, like, you said, oh, you wouldn't be the same afterwards, or like transformative after. And I was like, bro, this fucking, instantly I got flashbacks to watching The Substance.
Is that with Margaret Qualley?
Yes.
No. Yes. Okay.
And Demi Moore. Or is it Demi Moore? How does she? There's like a weird way that people pronounce her name.
I actually don't know.
But Demi Moore, because that's how it's written. I don't know. Dude, I have no idea how to talk about this movie, but I have to talk about this movie. So
okay, let's talk about it.
Bear with me and feel free to ask questions, but I will let you know, no spoilers. Obviously, we'll try and always, if we're talking about a movie that we've seen that the other person hasn't, or even that's like, even if it's been out for a while, like Palm Springs, there's no, we can talk about things without giving big spoilers, because I also want to potentially recommend the movies. And I am very hesitant on recommending this movie.
Interesting. Okay.
But for only like a certain subset of an audience. So
you're hesitant for a subset, or are you willing to recommend it to a subset?
So if you hate any sort of graphicness, gratuity, over the top shit, this movie is not for you.
In what way? Because I'll tell you, my only experience, I saw a TikTok where she's like grabbing a chicken, and I didn't get it.
So it's crazy that there are TikToks of this.
There's like a lot of food. I'm watching the trailer now, and there's also like Harrison Ford is just chomping on something. I don't like the food. I do not like.
Sorry, Harrison Ford?
Sorry.
I think is it Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid. Sorry, Dennis Quaid. You're right. So,
I was trying to think. I was like, in my head, when you said chomping on food, I was imagining Demi Moore, because she does a lot of food chomping in the movie.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid also in like the first 10 seconds of the trailer.
Oh, dude. So, you saw Poor Things, right? And you didn't like it.
Yeah. It was not for me.
So I would not recommend this movie to you.
Really?
It is very similar. You know how Poor Things has, and I think a lot of movies by whoever fucking directed or wrote Poor Things. Let me have a look.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah, did he do La La Land as well?
He did The Lobster.
What did he do? Yorgos Lanthimos, bro. I'm not.
He did The Favorite.
Right.
Dude, am I his biggest fan? I actually don't like the guy, but he did The Favorite and he did The Lobster, which I know.
Yeah, The Lobster's good. I want to see
hated The Lobster.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. I didn't like The Lobster, but it was passable, you know. And I haven't seen The Favorite.
I liked The Favorite. The Favorite's good. That's my favorite of his movies. Pardon the pun.
Poor Things was really good. And we've talked a little bit about it. I don't want this to become a fucking Poor Things review debate.
Slam session.
But the reason why I think you don't like the movie is the only gripe I have with the movie, which is basically its core thing of the fact that she is like a baby, like a child in an adult's body, and some of the shit that goes down is like so uncomfortable. And I think it's meant to be uncomfortable.
Are we talking about the new movie? Are we talking about the substance? Yeah, and that's part of it. But the way they deal with it is more. Not the fact that it is, because the fact that she is a baby in an adult's body could be something interesting. I think the way that they interact with it and like the stories they tell about it are what is most
the sexualization, which is like that's the story that they're trying to tell. So I get why I understand, because people say like you just don't get it when you have like an issue with that.
I'm willing to accept that, but I'm just trying to understand. And I spent hours reading about Poor Things after it, and I'm like, I still don't think that the juice.
I think metaphorically,
I
understand where they're going. It doesn't make it like it doesn't make me want to watch it. And there's a lot of in the scene. I think the framing of it makes me uncomfortable. But anyway, this isn't what I'm saying. Is there are aspects of Poor Things that are in the substance that I think you might like. Can
you give me a high level of the substance? Like, I don't even know. It seems to be like new young actress taking over for old actress or something.
Yeah, so I can give you a synopsis, but I honestly...
like a no spoil, just like literally the core of the idea. Like the first 5 minutes.
It's just hard to do because I would... in most movies, I want people to go in completely blind. And this is one of them where like I don't want to tell you much about the movie at all. But the general concept is the substance is something that gets like advertised to the main character, Demi Moore, as like a way to bring out a new and better you. She is a struggling, kind of washed up actress that's doing these exercise videos that she's about to get fired for. I think she's like 50 years old, and they're like, she's way over. Like the producer, who's Dennis Quaid, is like, bro, you're done.
You gotta retire.
Yeah, and as he's doing it, he's fucking disgusting. There's like so many close-up shots of him eating fucking shrimp, and he's barely saying anything. And he's like, "Oh, hey, is that good?" And then he goes over to some other big white guy. He's like, "Hey, we made $1 million on this thing, woo!" And when I say that, I'm not like, I guess I am paraphrasing because I don't know exactly what they said, but like, it's like someone in the script wrote down, guy says something about money to other white guy. Like, it's not...
And they just let him rip it.
Yeah, it's every single line in the movie, like, the focus is not really on the actual, like, dialogue. Like, it's not written how a regular movie would be written. A lot of the dialogue feels strange and maybe a bit clunky. And it's very easy for you to watch this movie at surface level and go, this is just a really bad movie. I think that would be a very easy takeaway. But that's kind of how I felt like it was. I thought it was a really bad, like, thrillery horror for like the first 2/3 of the movie. And then the last third of the movie, for people that have seen it, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. It literally goes fucking insane and is like, hey, you know this metaphor that we've been doing, which is basically like how Hollywood's awful and like the beauty standards of women are disgusting and like the industry's fucked, and also like an internal, like an introspective on like how people view themselves, whether you're a actress or not. It's like, hey, this metaphor, we're gonna fucking make this really fucking obvious, which usually is a bad thing, right? If they're like throwing it in your face and being like, here's what we want to tell you about the moral of the story. But for me, it kind of changed my whole view of the previous 2/3 of the movie, because
in a negative way,
in a positive way.
In a positive way.
But it took a while.
Okay.
I've been spending the last 2 days since I've seen this movie, like going through scenes in my mind, going, oh, God, I need to see this movie again. I need to figure out if it is genius or if it is awful.
Okay. Got it.
Because the way that they then make it very obvious about this metaphor and go like incredibly over the top, and it is insane. And so like I was crying laughing at how insane the movie got.
Okay.
And part of me in the moment felt like I was laughing at the movie. And then the more I thought back at the previous scenes, knowing that it was very clearly doing this metaphor and it knew exactly what it was doing, some of the choices that seemed strange initially were actually like they could be viewed as the director making a deliberate choice to make you think a certain thing that is like going towards the metaphors of the movie. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It's hard to describe without giving spoilers.
It's tough because it feels like we could just be like bacronyming it, like justifying it based on...
Exactly. That's why it's either an awful movie or it is they're a genius. And the latter half of the movie makes me think that they're a genius because of how insane it goes. And it kind of like... I had like a epiphany as I was like processing it all. Like, wait, are they fucking sick? So like one of the things... this is just like a small example that isn't really spoilery.
Okay. Dude,
Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley get naked for like most of the movie, like fully naked. And what's interesting is it was something that my friends mentioned afterwards, that there's no sex in the movie. Mm-hmm. Which is strange if you're also like, there's scenes that they don't need to be naked for, that they chose, it was a choice to make them naked for these scenes, right? Mm-hmm. The only scene where there's like any sort of like making out or like hints at a sexual thing, she's fully clothed in like a zip up, like leather fucking
the most
thing.
Clothed you can be.
Yeah. And when they're showing shots, very, very like close-up shots of like ass and tits, they never show a vagina at all. And that, I think, unless I'm unaware, I'm pretty sure you can show vaginas in movies, right? I know we don't see them very often, but if it's an 18 rating, I'm pretty sure you can show dick and vagina, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they do in other movies, and maybe they use a merkin, right? Like they theoretically show it, but they don't even theoretically show it.
Yeah, it cuts like before. You only see ass, you only see tits. And initially, I was like, oh, that's because the movie they just don't want to show vaginas or whatever. And then as like you get towards the end of the movie, this is the minorest of spoilers. There's a New Year's Eve show that the film is like building towards, and it's supposed to be like there's 50 million people that are going to be watching this movie, and the show like starts, and all of the dancers come on, and they're not wearing any tops, like anything on top at all. Their tits are just out, and instantly I go, their tits are out, and this is being streamed to 50 million people, and also then it shows there's a kid in the audience, and I'm like, there's a kid in the audience and this is supposed to be normal. Then I realize that I think that's the point. You're supposed to go, that's weird, why are they doing that? And then when you realize what point you're at in the movie, and the fact that all of this fucking crazy shit is happening, and you as a viewer go, hell, women have their tits out, that's weird. Like, the fact that it made me think that, I think was on purpose. And I think the reason they didn't show vaginas is to make you like go, viewers, like movies that have gratuitous nudity in, don't tend to show vaginas. They're all right showing fucking ass and tits, but they tend to hide away from showing vagina. Interesting. I think a lot of it is like you're meant to have those thoughts about it, but I was like putting it to the side, thinking it was a dog shit, awful movie, like that didn't really have any surprisingly substance.
Sure.
And then the last third, I was like, wait.
Sorry, say that one more time. It didn't have any what?
Substance. We should end the podcast then. That was actually so sick. But dude, I've been thinking about it for like the last 2 days. And I think I need to see it again to like be sure that it is actually genius. But it is either like a 3-star movie or a 5-star movie.
Huh. I mean, even 3's pretty good. If that's the case, then I feel like that's a recommendation, right? If the worst review of the movie is 3 and best is 5, it's like you give it a chance.
Yeah, I also like generic-y kind of, as long as the concept is cool and the concept of the substance like giving you a new you that you inject in yourself. Like there's a lot of zany things that are interesting enough to keep
am I meant to maybe this is like a spoiler question, and I don't even want to ask it because I feel like your answer might be a spoiler.
Okay.
You can just not even say anything, whether it's yes or no.
Wait, sorry. So you're gonna ask a question, and
don't
regardless,
even say
you don't want me to say
I just feel like I need to get this out in the world. I've watched the trailer 4 times now while we've been talking.
Okay.
And I am I meant to think that she is Margaret Qualley and that she is like transforming Hulk style? Don't say anything. Or these 2 people. Because the TikTok, I'm like, oh, it's 2 people. It's like, hey, dealing with getting older. It's how like we treat women in Hollywood and we just discard them when the new thing comes around. But now I'm like, wait, is she literally turning into this fucking young girl?
Yeah, so I hadn't seen any trailers going into the movie. And I had purposely, because I'm like, if I know I'm going to go and see a movie anyway, I don't need to see a trailer to be like, to give me essentially spoilers of the movie that I know I'm going to see. So... Right. I decided to not watch any trailers going in, so I don't know what it reveals in the trailer. Obviously, you've just told me now, but I didn't know.
Sure, yeah.
And I think just in general, it's better to go in without knowing anything. So it makes your experience of the movie better. It makes you like question what's going to happen next, which is not like the movie. Definitely, even if you've seen the trailer, will be like, what the fuck is happening? Especially in the final third. Dude, I want you to see the movie so that we can at least have like a bit of a spoiler discussion maybe next episode on the substance, because there's some crazy shit that I want to talk about, and I feel like you're gonna watch it and go, dude, you're huffing copium. Yeah, this is I hate this movie and I don't think it has any substance.
There's a chance. It's probably likely. Well, it definitely has some substance, because it seems like there's like some allegory in this. It's not just an action movie.
I love Margaret Qualley, and she has like said the director's a genius. I think it's won like awards at film festivals. It's got like a 4 out of 5 on IMDb. Like it's being regarded well, and I'm surprised, because usually these kind of movies are like the general audience are like, this is fucking awful, and I'm mainly seeing positive things, which is good.
That is good.
I will say as the movie ended, literally there was me and my 2 friends, and then 2 other couples that were in this screening. And as the lights came on, I've never been in a movie, like a theater, where there's like a camaraderie, especially in the UK. It doesn't really happen. You know, like Avengers Assemble and the whole theater cheers. That shit doesn't really happen in the UK.
Thank God. I wish it didn't happen here.
Yeah, but I've never so it's never really happened to me that I've had like a joint experience with like people from a movie. You usually just like quietly leave and don't talk to anyone. Every single person was looking at the other people to be like, do you also think that was fucking insane? And like literally this 2 couple looked at me and went, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I agree. What the fuck was that? But then that made me start thinking more and more about it. And as I was thinking more and more about it, I was like, what the fuck was that? Wait, was it genius? Fuck.
Right. Interesting. You know, the time where I had a movie theater that, let's bookend this episode. The one time I was in a theater outside of Avengers Assemble, which made me want to jump out off a building.
Oh, was it a Harry Potter thing?
Dude, I'll tell you, spoilers for Harry Potter. When Dobby dies in the second to last movie, there were people actually crying leaving the theater.
To be fair, when you say actually crying, I'm
like
assuming
crying, like sobbing.
Yeah, I'm assuming loud enough for you to be able to hear. Because like if you're crying in a movie, it's fine. But if you're like,
I was at college and they did a thing where it was like, hey, free tickets for freshmen, just get on these buses. And so there was like 20 buses just taking kids to movie theaters.
Like you're about to get kidnapped.
Yeah, straight
free tickets for freshmen, get on this bus.
And so everyone is just like quietly sobbing, getting on the bus. And I'm like, damn, vibe is shot, bro. And I'm sitting on the bus going back to campus like, ew.
That's very funny.
Sucks. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I can't imagine like even like vocalizing much at a movie. I felt bad that in the like I was laughing so hard for like the final third of the movie. But it obviously it's not showing you things that you're supposed to really be laughing at. I was laughing at how insane the movie was, and I felt really bad because I was worried there was going to be like people kind of like how I'm interpreting it now that would be watching it going like, oh, he just doesn't understand what's going on with this movie, all snobbery. So when the movie ended and everyone was like, what the fuck was that? I felt much better because I was like full on crying, laughing towards the end.
I feel like I don't want to be crying, laughing at the end of this movie, but what are you going to do?
Maybe it didn't help that I was going to see it with like two of my mates. It wasn't like I wasn't going into it thinking it was a highbrow movie, which is why
you went into it like, oh yeah, you're gonna be naked chicks.
I didn't know that happened. That's why I didn't see a trailer. So I went into it thinking it's called The Substance, and I'm assuming they're injecting themselves with some shit. So I was like, oh, it's a horror movie of like what happens when this sci-fi fucking substance thing goes in their system. I had no idea what was going to happen. So all of it was a shock. Even the first 2/3 was a shock to me because I didn't expect everyone to be naked. And then goes batshit crazy, dude. It's so funny. You have to see it just for the podcast. I don't think I would recommend it to you otherwise, but for the podcast, you have to see it. I just don't
think I could bring myself to go to a theater to see it. Hopefully it comes out on rental soon.
I've seen lots of tweets about it, and I agree. The joint experience of watching the last third of the movie in a theater is like insane. Someone tweeted that it should be like a Disney ride, and you get a picture of your faces that
your
you
face
pull.
Right when the screen goes off. Yeah.
So because of how insane it is. So I felt like I'm not alone, but also all these same people are going like, dude, such a good movie. And I was like, I think it might be.
You weren't sure yet.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still on the fence. But I'm leaning way more towards they're a genius the more I sit with it. I just need to see it again. I need to see it again, dude. I'm so fucking... It lives in my head rent free. I close my eyes and I see horrors, Stans. You don't understand.
That makes me not want to watch it.
Well, you have to for Binge and Cringe. Do you know what else you have to do, Stans? You have to come up with a catchphrase.
Ladies and gentlemen, unleash the beast.
Well, you sound like someone from The Substance. That's so sick. All right, I'm all right with that one.
Oh, interesting.
Wait,
I learned something.
Is that Monster?
Yeah.
I already did that one. What the fuck?
You did Monster Energy?
Yeah, because I had it in front of me and you were like, how do you know that's Monster? And I was like, I don't know. And you roasted me for drinking Monster. Are you drinking Monster? How did you know?
We are not an energy drink. We are a way of life.
Bro, is
that's Bang.
That's Bang.
Fuel your destiny. I had a Monster the other day at the Gen G office because they're sponsored by Monster. But either way, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to eat some breakfast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.